Alright, Pineapple Leaf, back again with another one. Baby broccolini, broccolette. This is my initial impression of the Adios Pro 4 in the Lucid Red, Black, Lucid colorway. These are giving me Dark Sonic Shadow vibes. In my Recovery Hoka to match Recovery Hoka socks. These are very durable. I really love the feel of these. I also really love my CEP infrared recovery socks as well, but once you pull them up sometimes too much, they can have a little tear. But this is going to be just a quick review, not a full review, as it's my initial impression. And something I noticed right off the bat with these is I did a 6.9 mile run in them for the first run. It was a track run, so pretty much, yeah, so far they've been all track miles. And I love these things, by the way. I don't have a microphone right now, or ever. Maybe I should get one. I don't know how my audio quality is. I think you can hear me pretty clear and fine enough, but I'm initially really impressed by these right off the bat. I've heard some people say that they're not true to size. I can say right off the bat that they are. I have not had any toe cramming in these and nails scrunching up on the front and jamming or anything like that. I think some people might need to trim their toenails. Runners, do all you can to take care of your footsies. Our feet are already bad enough as they are. If you have any foot fetishes, do not date a runner or a ballerina. So these are true to size for me, at least, and I do love the snug, the more snug, fits like a sock, the way they encapsulate my feet feel. The geometry of these are really nice, really breathable upper, very almost like velvety smooth. I love the way this just feels. It's just a very quality upper. Like, everything about this is just so nice. This is my first time having Adidas rods and versus a full carbon plate, which I think is kind of cool how they show it in here. The cutout in here, you'll probably catch a few hitchhiker strays along the way. If you're running on road, definitely try to stay out of gravel. I did a long run, was my last long run and run overall when I retired my Alpha Fly Vault colorway, and I was running on some gravel, and some of the rocks got in there and actually cracked the carbon plate in the front left. So that was just an extra point to retire them on. But I love the little hidden gems in here. Road to Records says that on the back of each. Those cool little those little thoughtful writings in your shoes is pretty fun. I like that kind of stuff, whether they do that on there's certain clothing apparel and stuff that has done the same thing, where they put it inside little tags in your hats or shirts. And it even says 39 millimeter in the heel. And as far as I can tell, it doesn't say it in the front, but the millimeters in the front are
33 millimeters in the front.
Give you a
6 millimeter heel to toe drop.
Light Strike Pro Adizero Adios Pro 4 with what they call light lock lacing system, which it does look like it's a stitched, somewhat gusseted upper, and I had no issues with any slippage in the tongue. It looks like a tongue is gusseted. Really nothing too special about the laces, but I didn't have any problems with them. I got a pretty good lockdown in these. My right foot always does kind of come somewhat loose while running, and I gotta say that, okay, initially, oh, and by the way, I pay for these all myself. I am nowhere near being
that important or special.
Sent anything or sponsored, or no one pays me to make these videos. I can give you the honest opinions for myself because these are all paid for with my labors, my money, my hard work. The biggest thing I noticed in this shoe, and something that Yawana said on his review of these shoes, and he hated these shoes, is he just said they were way too mushy, way too soft. He hated them. He felt like he was running in, like, I don't even know, like
A sand pit.
he's a very big heel striker, so it probably felt like he was running on like a marshmallow with no give, no return, no bounce. Because I can confirm, if you are a massive heel striker, do not buy these shoes unless you can run mid to forefoot, because these are not for heel strikers. In this initial review, these things felt great on the track in my workout, but these, like the rear, literally, like at a certain point on here, caves in. Like, it's intentionally way softer in the heel than it is in the mid to forefoot, where it's way more firm. Like, this thing in the rear just totally bottoms out. Like, it's so I can definitely see why someone like Yawana, who's a big heel striker running with a lot of power in the rear, it's justifiable why he would hate these. I am the opposite though. These felt amazing. And a big tip for someone a big running tip for someone, if you're trying to figure out if you are a heel striker, like where you land in your foot strike while running, because a lot of people the majority I would say recommend landing mid-foot. Especially while racing, it's pretty natural. But if you are wondering if you are a heel striker and you want to get tested, you want to maybe film your foot strike, one easy way of doing that, and if you're on the fence of getting these shoes, I give this a total green light, a go. Some say no, but I say go. Joey, go. If you do get a pair of these, if you intentionally run while trying to heel strike, because I've heard about how it's way softer in the heel versus the mid to forefoot, which is the intention by Adidas. Because you can kind of see how it splits here. That foam is different than this foam, the Light Strike Pro, from what my understanding is, and that's intentional, and it works out for racing because it just gives you enough cushion in the heel if you're not heel striking. Like, you can feel it because I'm barely hitting it, because I'm landing on it, but it's not as firm as it is up here. And that was honestly, it felt actually really nice. Like, I love these things. I'm only 6.9 miles in. We'll see what happens when I give a full review. This is my initial review. But that is one good way to practice not heel striking if you don't want to be a heel striker. There are pros at heel strike. I think even Sage Canaday might be a heel striker, and he's a vegan runner who qualified for the Olympics. He's pretty injury free throughout his career, from my understanding. He's a big inspiration. So a lot of great tips. Sage Canaday, and I think it's his girlfriend Sandy also she's a really great runner, and they make videos and stuff. They're both coaches.
Oh, by the way, the lucid red colorway on these are way more beautiful in person than they are in this video.
I was on the fence. I was really back and forth between this and the Vaporfly 4. I was thinking about getting the red and green colorway in the Vaporfly 4. And I just know for a bigger runner like me, over 6 foot, right now 168, 169 pounds in the morning which is considered a bigger runner. For someone that's disciplined marathon, which I do need to get a little lighter for CIM in December, but I got a long ways for that, so I'll be fine. Hopefully I can just, trim a little bit and then add that weight back on later if I ever go sub 3. And so I'm really glad I went with these instead of the less cushioned Vaporfly 4. Someone like me needs all the cushion they can get. And 39 in the rear, 39.40 for a race day shoe. The max is 40 for legal race qualifications. So you're not banned. But that's like for pro runners. Like if you're not going to get disqualified wearing a pair of Hoka Skyward X running a marathon with 45 millimeter heel drop, heel to toe. I don't remember what the toe is on that, but what the drop is. But I think it's like 45 in the rear. Maybe the Glycerin Max is as well. I love that shoe. That might be my shoe of the year. But these more race day shoe with the higher stack in the rear, like this Adios Pro 4 and the Vaporfly 3, that's more my cup of joey. I'm gonna reach for these way more than something with a lower, less forgiving heel stack like the Vaporfly 4. If I end up buying the Vaporfly 4, I'm really still curious about that shoe. To me, that's more going to be like definitely not a marathon shoe. I need more protection than that. I'm going to probably keep that, maybe go for a mile PR, which I haven't done in a while, kind of thinking about doing that. I would get that, even a streak fly, someone like me, I'm not messing with that thing. That thing's like a Cinderella slipper. I ain't running that. I don't even care if I'm trying to do like a mile PR. It's just not worth spending that much money to just use those for the occasional fast mile to 5K. Like I can't imagine running that thing, running on the Street Fly, Street Fly 2 for even up to a 10K. That has just got to be, that has got to be brutal on your lower extremities. I think I would be fine racing in these to a marathon, but like I said, my first run is only 6.9 miles, and it was sprint day. I haven't done sprints in a long time, and I just felt more comfortable getting these out for the sprints. My knees, I did feel my knees have been giving me, I've had a higher propensity for injuries. The niggles were kind of creeping in, small little things like new aches and pains, so I was kind of worried. My knees have been feeling a little better, and so I've been a little less stressed in my mind with that constant stress on the body from your mind of your body. So I really am glad that I got these over the Vaporfly 4 so far. Vaporfly 4 I'm hearing would be really great from like mile PR to half marathon. I think tops for someone like me. I don't think looking at how much more aggressive that shoe is, I don't think that would be a race day shoe for me. I would have to be really, really confident wanting to run with some crazy strength, strong form, something like those, and I'd probably I'd feel more confident dropping more weight, getting into a pair like that. Too early to tell if I would race in the marathon with these. I'll probably get these. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna do some more speed workouts with them.
When my knee feels better.
I did a 9x9 sprint day with these. Felt great. Felt really protective. My legs actually surprisingly felt good afterwards. 9x9 sprints. They were, I think, over 20 seconds each, and kind of around there at 4:15 pace. And Garmin watch gave me an 85% execution score. You got to be careful you got to be able to time when you're gonna hit that straightaway on a track if you're doing sprints workouts. When your Garmin watch is telling you, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. You almost have to start that sprint a little before the go, so that your watch is getting like a proper GPS data point that like this is your pace. Because if you just start like right at that point, it's just right when it says go, then you kind of start going, you're gonna lose a little bit of speed. I've kind of noticed in the overall, it would be like, oh, you are running 4:59 pace versus like a 4:15, 20, whatever. So, but yeah, my biggest takeaway from these are I'm glad I purchased these. With just one run, sprint day, these held up really well, gave me great protection and speed, and these let me know that I'm not a hill striker. I mean, I do need to do a video where I film myself running and seeing where I strike and what my gait is and all that stuff, but I intentionally was trying to heel strike in these, and I could feel just a significant difference from heel striking to midfoot to forefoot striking, and these do the job. This is really innovative by Adidas, and I give them huge comment kudos for experiment. I love when shoe brands experiment and do new things, to where I can give comment kudos for trying something new and innovative, because it's going to give us more insight into ourselves as runners and what to do, what to fix, etc. So I am definitely giving these Joey the Jackalope pass. These are fantastic. Jackalope Sprint Day executed really well. Legs felt great afterwards. I mean, not great, but like, you know, you never want to run till so you can't to burnout. In sprints, that's where you're gonna get injured, or more likely to be. You always want to feel like you're leaving a little more out there. So, like a beginner in a sprint workout is probably gonna do 4 sprints, to where the like intermediate maybe 6, and then the more experienced runners are gonna do anywhere from like 8 to higher. You want to get that top end speed going in your training to get faster, especially for explosive lower distances, to push your VO2 max. The biggest thing is mileage, base building, and your long run, then your speed workouts. Yeah, these executed really well, very comfortable, very nice fit, fast. I can't wait to try these on some different workouts. I'm probably going to get these up. Like, if I really, really like these shoes, maybe I might want to compare them to my red guava white Alpha Fly 3s over there. Maybe do some back-to-backs, maybe some like some 5K testing. Maybe I'll bring the Alpha Fly 3 these in like a recovery shoe in between to do my warm-up run, and then maybe some mileage afterwards. We'll see. And see how these compare to the Alpha Fly 3, and see what I want to do going into the next marathon, because I got like 55 miles on the Alpha Fly 3. Those are my PR marathon shoes of 2 hours, 2 minutes, 34 seconds in Napa 2025. So I might get these up. I don't know how durable these are. I think I heard on YouTube they're not like the most durable, but I'm not sure. Maybe some people said they were. So maybe I'll get them up to around 50 miles if I really love these. Adios Pro 4. Might keep them around there and consider them for my next marathon, which is December, Sacramento CIM 2025. I believe it's December 7th. So I'm just happy to have less stress knowing that I have a couple options going to that. So my Alpha Fly 3 Red Guava, which are amazing. Those are probably still my favorite, and I would have to do a lot more testing before I knock those off with these. But the Alpha Fly 3 right now is still my favorite. I couldn't recommend that one enough. Very cushioned, protective, very speedy. Like, I just love those shoes.
Very roomy and accommodating.
I think for me, I do like the lockdown in these. They might feel a little more like socks, the way they kind of like enrobe my feet, the way they wrap around. So I do like the fit of these, true to size. The heel counter, there's a little bit of an indent for your heel to keep you locked in. I like that. Arch support is, I didn't really have any arch problems, I don't think, from these. These are very, very lightweight and just an amazing colorway. And I also got the Lucid Lemon Evo SL by Adidas, so I'm really excited about that. Got some really fire new colorways. Have yet to log any tempo runs, daily training with those, but once the Rebel V4s are done,
They've been done off to
those are the
recycling.
next tempo kind of daily trainers.
Spoiler alert, I love the new Evo SL.
So, yep. Like I said, these get a Joey the Jackalope pass, green light, go. Some say no, but I say go, go-y. Alright. That's my initial thoughts for the Adios Pro 4. And the biggest takeaway is definitely these are going to help you realize whether or not you're a heel striker and teach you how to be more of a midfoot striker going forward. That in itself just adds to the fun experience of tips and tricks of learning about running in yourself and your running journey.
Running economy.
Thank you so much, Adidas, for making such an innovative shoe. Like I said, if you can't fix your heel, and if you don't want to fix your heel striking, like if you're just an inherent heel striker, do not get these. Everyone else, yeah, definitely get these. These are super rad life. All right, peace out, pineapple leaf, hasta la pasta, and remember, a ninja is one who endures. Stay safe out there, running them streets.
This looks like a fun unconfetti sherbet. It also looks like one of those concept car paint jobs where they're kind of trying to cover and how the car looks to kind of disguise it, or almost like a cake batter, or icing, or Splatoon dots like those old ice creams back in the day. Let me know in the comments below what you think this looks like.